Accusations, accusations, and accusations. That seems to be just a wash with the forums at the moment. So let's face it, from watching the Battle Round Brawl, which we've got on screen right now, one thing that we can point out within this community is we have some of the most fantastic players that come up with really unique and interesting ways to take down other champions. People that specifically skilled with certain champions, people that, you know, you would go, oh, I don't think that pair up would a good pair up, and they surprise you, which is good because it's great to be surprised within this game. Also, by wearing this hat and having a big beard, this is Hipster Saturday, so I'm shaving this off today. This is just being grown for a Halloween party, which I'm having today. And also, this is, you know, a bit of a chilled weekend. Last week was a bit intense, you know, and I'm a bit tired. So a lot of kind of stuff that we're covering. Topics. It's a weekend, so we cover some topics. And next week, we're back to the guides and proper kind of like content, business as normal. But in any case, on this Saturday, I wanted to look into this. Like, one of the biggest things I see on the forums at the moment is, as we said, accusations. Now, look, just before I kind of like go into this, just to point out, I don't know 100% that the people being mentioned in this particular segment, you know, talking to people they're going against, are cheaters or modders. I also not know that the player that's being accused is actually good or a bad player. They could be incredibly good, and they could have done it under, you know, exceptional conditions. They could be running an alt account and doing things with exceptional conditions and doing very well. It is really hard to tell, and this is the problem that we've got at the moment with these accusations. And it's tough for people to kind of like assess other situations. I would say if you feel that anybody is cheating in a Battlegrounds matchup, is to do a support ticket and just say, I suspect this person's cheating. Show a few of the screenshots. There are some details. You can go a bit further, I believe. I think if you click the eyes on these, it does come up with specific kinds of information, which is going to be helpful to kind of like go, okay, well, in this particular scenario, was the player, you know, playing legitimately, or were they cheating in some kind of elements? Wait, no, sorry, it's this eye, so to the right there. So the big eye to the far right-hand side, to give you a bit more of a kind of a breakdown on things of how, say, the fight played out, how well it went, you know, stuff like that. At least that's the kind of like information that you're kind of looking to ascertain and go a bit further and beyond. Because then it comes up with stuff like if they've done 1 billion damage, then that's highly suspect. If it's a case that, you know, they've done, what, 2 hits in a 10-second fight, then that could be something. Okay, so all this is very interesting to kind of like go into a bit more depth about, you know, as Dalbot says here. I mean, sure, of course, rank 1 Hyperion clears rank 4 200 Korg and rank 1 Quicksilver, beats rank 4 200 Signature Nimrod, each in 21 seconds. Totally feasible. I think that's sarcastic. But, you know, having to waste time to make up for cheating BS with a loss like this is 100% reasonable after all. Not like there's any compensation for stuff going on at all. Obviously, from a compensation standpoint, as you said before, and, you know, this has been going a year, right? If you get cheated on, I use that term again lightly because it's kind of implies it's like a relationship, but it feels like it's a relationship. There's nothing to compensate your Elder Marks, your energy, your victory shields, your time, and maybe any kind of boost or any kind of extras that have been kind of like, you know, used for this one. It's not. Well, it's not fair. Unfortunately, Battlegrounds is never fair. The matchmaking system is something that still needs to be questioned, but, you know, Kabam give us the positivity that it is fine. And of course, I know there's, again, difference of opinion whether or not people think that the matchmaking is fine or is not. So when you do see situations like this, you do have to, well, you know, question stuff. And again, it's very mixed on the subject as to, like, you know, thought processes, stuff. Like, look, this is the situation where in a very short space of time, I assume we've seen Hulk will be able to take down a low-ranked Iron Man, and then when you look into another area, a bit different. So it's always, as we said, it's very tough to say, is this person, was this person cheating? Is it legit? Is it not? But of course, we live in a kind of MCOC state where it's like, okay, this is actually a bit suspicious. I mean, look, you got a condition of a Hercules winning and having 99.9% in good conditions finishing, 57 seconds. And look, I've won matches I don't think I deserve to win. And again, this is situations where in a matchup, it is what it is. This could be a case that like good RNG does well. I mean, this one here looks very unfair because it's like 75.8% health and versus 76.2% health, but the condition of points of awarded for time always wins out, and that's kind of like always, it's spicy when it happens. It definitely was spicy when you look back at the Battleground Brawl, but it's, you know, at times it's a bit ugh. But yeah, like as you know, players is here. I've done both matchups successfully in the past. Beat Mangold with Hercules this season. You either nuke or you eat SP3. Your opponent nuked. Those are doable. Can't judge without stats, because that's the other thing. You know, stats are going to be important to judge. Then the shoe's always on the other foot. That's always very interesting. I've seen a lot of people talk about Silk as being a really good champion. Walty says and showcases his Silk in action, and what we're talking about conditions wise, like look, 100% health finishing, 31 seconds in the fight. They're still, enemy still going with their particular fight, and this results in a win, a very interesting win, because it's like, you know, where is it? Right here. No, actually, it's right. It's right. I can't find it. There we go. I can find it now. Physical burst 36,000. Special attack 34,000, basic attacks 24,000, other 11,000, whatever. You know, successful hits 38, biggest hit 10,475, 26-second fight duration, 35 hit combo. Yeah, so it's like that's fantastic. But it's the follow-up that kind of like interests me, and I think it interests a lot of players, because this is always that, like, the shoe is on the other foot kind of stuff. Scared I'm about to be reported because Silk is just OP. I mean, look, obviously they're being sarcastic about it, but it's like, it's a very real thing to kind of be concerned to go like, well, am I going to get reported because I played well? Again, we're living in this kind of like, everybody's dubious of each other. Everybody's kind of like concerned for each other. Like, to be honest, like when I'm playing, I do not care. I do not care if I win. I do not care if I lose. I just care about getting points at the end of the day. That doesn't mean, by the way, I'm going out to kind of like do the points farming thing, sitting in diamond. It's a case of like when I do go out to play, honestly, if you beat me, I do not care. I do not want to have a conversation about it. I've got better things to do. So if you beat me, I'll move on to the next fight. And the same thing when it comes to winning. I don't care that I won. And I think a lot of people are in that same boat. You know, if you beat me under like better conditions, fair play. You know, good luck to you. Continue on, continue to shine, and be brilliant going into the next fight. I don't really care about it. I don't care about the time, because I'm like, damn, I went on a losing streak. But then it's like, I'll just go and do something else, and if I get bored of it. But yeah, look, you know, people are in this situation. His Annihilus was only 39k though, but still Silk rinsed him with like 3 intercepts, combos, and the Relic Double Fury SP2. Nice comboing, nice chaining, nice relic use, striker use, and damage. It's always good to see. This is really interesting. So this player put these particular images here, which and also kind of a compliment to say that I had this guy earlier. The stats showed he got hit and lost his combo, but still full health when I'm running High Despair. Just a good gaming carpet. Also, what a quinky dink that both fights were exactly the same. So kind of noting that they ended on conditions of 100% health each and every time, which of course is very good, and 69 seconds each time. Again, weird coincidence. I would say what would have been great, which is not on this particular thread, is information of like they've actually got hit, because that's what you only see, that they finish at 100% health. It's not, as we said, like this particular image, you know, over here, where you've got, you know, full breakdown of kind of like, okay, did you get hit? Did you not get hit? You know, that particular info right there, if that's something that you can actually you can see. Now, here's the thing, like, it's a very annoying kind of cultural time to be in when it comes to Battlegrounds. I do think that, look, a lot of the time people will go at each other as players, and I think that's just not the case, that we should be doing that. I do think Kabam should always be kind of like stepping into these particular things, and there needs to be this level of kind of trust from player base to Kabam, in that what they're sorting out with Battlegrounds is in the future that we have something that's able to identify a cheater early on. Kabam do have an anti-cheat system in place, but it's not like a instant anti-cheat. And what I mean by that is something that I've said a long time ago, which is if you've got, or you play Battlegrounds, and for whatever reason, round one is very sus. You go, okay, round one, I lost round one. That's annoying. Look, round one can go whatever two ways, but if the cheater is found on round one, by the way, I'm not saying this person is a cheater, I'm just using this as a visual here. So if round one, the cheater is found, at that particular point, it then will go, the game then goes, right, well, they then either insta-ban or they send punishment, like a 24-hour, ban to that particular enemy, the defender or person you're going up against. So it basically means at that particular point after round one, it's done, and then what it does, it goes to a summary, and the player becomes the winner, who was the person that was going to be cheated on. When we get to that particular point, then we will go away from stuff like this, where people don't know what to trust. And that's the biggest issue. If someone played well, if, say, they've got a more powerful champion, then they might win, more easily. And that may be the thing, isn't it? Like, we've seen it before. We've seen it on, where have we seen it before? That's right, everybody, the Battle Realm Brawl. Times where there's been finishing on good conditions, I'm talking like 100% like health fights for both players, but one person obviously edges it further because, they play well. We're in a very precarious place when it comes to Battlegrounds, this kind of accusation type element, and the search for constant validation when it comes to, look, I potentially found something, I'm not sure if this is a modder or not because they did it. It's questionable, it's sus, it may be playing well, but you don't know. A lot of people that react to this stuff go, it is possible. I think that is just where we're at the moment. This accusation station when it comes to Battlegrounds, and the only way to sort this out and, players, stop turning on each other. And to give you an idea, there have been people that have just decided to, people are really toxic at times in Battlegrounds. So that's indeed the end of the video. I thank you very much for watching. What are your thoughts when it comes to this kind of weird accusation station, this constant look for validation in whether or not this was a cheat or not? Are we living in a bit of a fear state when it comes to like Battlegrounds and you face off people with matches? I've got to be honest, like for me, I don't care, and it will be a case of like, if I lose a match because I didn't play well, I lost the match. If there's a cheater there, then that's something on Kabam. If there's a reason Kabam are allowing cheaters to filter through, then that's on Kabam, and they need to do better when it comes to this particular system. In the time that I've played MCOC, this is where it becomes more important to add in a better anti-cheat piece of software that's able to identify within at least round one what is going on with somebody's conditions. If they're playing well, they're playing well, fair play. But if they're not, then it needs to be stamped out, and it needs to be stamped out quicker, especially in this particular time. But thoughts in the comment section from you lovely people on a Saturday. Look out for a new series launching later on today. Check out some other content located on the screen. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.